And I read a bit of your experience in the book, Where Was She Girls, The Girl Entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And you talk about how the first few years, the first couple of months was a bit slow, was a bit difficult. Can you just talk to us about how you kept yourself going in that initial period? How did you reassure yourself that this is the right path I've taken?
You know, when you want to do something that is totally unconventional, because 10 years ago, it was 2002 that I started Eventful, you have to really have a lot of confidence in yourself and what you're going to do, because if you don't and it doesn't work, you're going to shake and you're going to give up. But I was just convinced that this gift could be harnessed into a business. And though at the beginning it was slow, as I said, but that conviction just kept me going, that, you know, eventually. And because even when I was in EcoBank, I was already organizing events, because I was responsible for the HR department. So if we had retreats, and if we had AGMs, because I was competent, I was responsible for that already. So I just figured that what I was more worried about was whether the personal events would take off, whether a traditional Yoruba family would hand their daughter's wedding to a total stranger. But in terms of the corporate events, I was quite sure that, you know, people would really get into that. So though it was slow, I had the backup. I was working with that. I didn't sort of start business and go and take a fancy office in VI and employ 10,000 staff. No, I had my husband give me one room in his own office. I had just one PA. So I started out that way, and it was like, well, if I do this for 2 years, it doesn't work, I'll just become Madam Executive Director in Mr. Zaccheaus' office. So I had that backup. But basically, you know, because I had having worked with corporate experience, and I had the network, once people realized that this is what I do, it was like just word of mouth. Oh, Yewande is doing this. Okay, yeah, let's ask Yewande to do this. And then you do one, you do it well, somebody else sees you, asks you to do it, and that was just how we do it.
Okay. So, and there was a line in the book that mentioned, talked about dream killers, people who said, how can you be doing this kind of business with the kind of exposure and education you have?
Yes, a lot of people. In fact, I mean, a close friend, she once said she wanted to see me. I was actually wondering what major issue could be up, and she called me and said, hey, Yewande, all your degrees in law, you went to Cambridge, and then you want to, for those of you who say, family. I mean, but you know, that's part of what I say. When I say you must understand what you're doing, because people can really, you know, they can bring it down, they can make you feel that you're doing something that is. But you know, I'm a professional. I'm a lawyer. I'd worked in a bank. I'd been in both corporate law and in banking for 18 years. So I knew clearly that my investment business was going to be about tabaluni. It was, I mean, so I was very clear in my mind. I knew what was done abroad, and I knew what I wanted to do. But you see, this is why I say that when you're going to start a business, you must have a passion. Never go into something because, oh, that's what your friend does and she seems to be making a lot of money. It must be something you want to do, that even if they don't pay you, you will do it. Do you understand? So that when people say those kind of things, you just, if you're a focused person, if you're not focused, you get distracted and you begin to shake and think, oh my goodness, so that's what people think of me. And even till now it happens. I mean, until now, somebody will just make a totally disparaging remark. But I look at them, I look at myself and I say, you know, I mean, hey, look at me and look at you. You may think you're a fancy banker, but if we, in terms of value added, go to this economy. You know, so it's very, very important. People will always say things. People will be, I mean, I remember, you know, somebody said to me, what do you mean? Who does she think she is? You know, people just will say things because people are not used to, people don't like it when people think outside the box. They think you're a lawyer, you're a banker, either you just stay in the bank or you leave and go and be a judge, or you set up your own chambers. So if you know, throw it all away and say, oh, I'm going to start an events management company, it sounds totally absurd. And, but fortunately for me, the three people who really mattered the most where from the minute I said to them, this is what I want to do. And for the people who knew me, they were like, this is Yewande, this is what she was born to do. Because all my life I've been bossing my sisters and brothers around and organizing people. So it's just natural. And as I said, my husband, my parents, and my pastors, they were just like, Yewande, go for it. So really, at the end of the day, it wasn't that important what other people felt. Okay. And I'm glad to see that they've been proven wrong. It's a viable business out of it.
Yeah.